So welcome. In this lecture, we will talk about the solutions for your UPSC 2020. Now, some of the questions we have taken here for answer writing, and we would understand what kind of things you need to take into account while you are writing the answer. So the first question says, what are the major features that clinicians use to interpret Roche's approach? Now, as we know, this is a projective test. We already know a little about the test, so in the introduction you can explain it. So this test has been developed by Roche's, and this test is a test which analyzes the projective approach. We have five ink blots which are black in color, we have two which are black and red, and then we have three which are multicolored, and then the responses on each of the ink blots are explained. So the subject is usually asked to hold the card, rotate the card, and then the responses of the subject are analyzed. Now, how the responses are analyzed is under different categories. So there are four major categories. The first is content. Under content, what we see, the whole human, what the idea is, we see the details. So it's firstly the whole human, then the detail human, then we have the animal detail, if any, the gender, and the nature. So those are the characteristics we see in the content style. Then is location. Location talks about various plot. So D is the described part of the plot, DD is the uncommonly described part. Then we have S, which is the white space, and W, which is the whole ink blot. So those locations are the interpretation of for those locations are done. Then we have the determinants. Under the determinants, what are taken into account? Under determinants, we have various elements like color. We take into account form, movement. We talk about pair, reflection, then shading. So those are determinants. Then besides this, how popular it is. So popularity of the design and originality of the design are another important category. So under these categories, determinants, content, location, popularity or originality, we understand the clinicians try to interpret the responses, and since it is a projective test, it is widely used to understand the subjective, the personality of a subject, and understand under what head the various conventional perceptions can be made into consideration. So that was the first question that we discussed. The next question is, how do prior knowledge shape encoding in the memory? Now in our video lectures we have already talked about how knowledge helps in encoding. So we have understood there are two important possible ways. So the first method we call is the schema scheme. Now the schema method has been extremely applied by Piaget, and we have focused on two methods, which is assimilation and accommodation. So assimilation and accommodation are the methods. So assimilation is any new information in the existing pre-schema which is being absorbed, and accommodation is existing schema being altered to form or have new schemes or new experiences. Okay, so those are the two important schemas that we understand. Besides this schema theory, there is another theory which is Bartlett's theory. So first, understanding how does prior knowledge shape the encoding. When we understand memory, as we talked about in our lectures, we have three stages, which is storage, then we have the encoding, then the encoding is stored, and storage is retrieved. Okay, so this is the stage. So this encoding, if there is prior knowledge, definitely it would enhance the process of storage, and more information is likely to move into long-term memory. So there are existing concepts in our mind which can help us form new concepts. So under the Bartlett's theory, so one was the schema theory that we discussed, the other is the Bartlett's theory. Bartlett's theory, as we said, is a further interesting theory. Why? Because Bartlett wanted to investigate people with cultural background and unfamiliarity with the text, and how do they respond to it. So if someone reads a story from different culture, for example, prior knowledge may cause distortions in the recall of the various versions of the story, but the person might find it acceptable in their own cultural perspective. So Bartlett had most of the participants from North America, and it were mainly the Indian people, and they were related to the folk tale, the War of Ghosts. Now, War of Ghosts was the story, and the major findings was participants had difficulty in recalling the concepts of the story. When they were told to recall, they either shortened it too much, or there were very few words they could recall. And when the subjects changed of the story to fit them into their own cultural perspective, they were like totally messed up, because canoes changed to boats, and similarly there were different changes in the word formations which were done. So this experimentation helped find out how memory was affected by culture, and how their knowledge and culture affects the way they think and remember. So that was the Bartlett's theory. The next important question we would discuss here is the physiological and cognitive components of emotion. Now again, under emotion we have covered various theories. Now D. Mayer's theory was one of the important theories. David Mayer, who talked about physiological behaviors, he talked about expressive behaviors and conscious experiences. So physiological and cognitive components of emotions are explained under the Schatzer-Singer theory. So that was the theory under which we understand the physiological and cognitive components, and this theory is one of the theories that we have covered significantly, where there is a physiological arousal followed by cognitive labeling of the physiological arousal, and finally the emotion which comes into play, and this is also known as the two-factor theory. So two-factor theory is one of the major theories that we discuss here. Also, we need to understand that there are various concepts which have been related to this theory and have been explained in detail. Okay, so what we need to understand here is what type of study. So firstly, it is an experimental study. Okay, then we have the idea is to test the stage of arousal, and there were various participants who talked about the situation. So there were two situations, which was euphoria and anger. So informed students told correct effects of it. However, ignorant students told nothing about it. Misinformed told incorrect responses, and those which were given placebo, that was a content which was just used to create a false feeling that there have been something which has been informed, was a placebo, and they told nothing. So euphoria condition, the misinformed participants felt much more happier. So those who were misinformed were much more happier in nature. Okay, the second happiest was, so the first happiest was misinformed, the second happiest was the ignorant group, and this demonstrate how euphoria has an important plane, because it acted with friendly people, and they started to play more easily in one room. So Stooge basically encouraged participants to join for euphoria. Then was anger. The ignorant group was the group which was most angry, and the second angry group was the placebo effect, who told nothing. Okay, so they were considered as most angry among those, and this was the theory where Stooge acted angry because the question paper was either ripped off, or there were some variations which were given. So these four groups of participants, the experimental conditions were very important. Under placebo, they were treated with similar like to epinephrine, which was basically epinephrine ignorant, we could say. They told nothing, and this states that physiological arousal in different emotions, be it euphoria, be it anger, is entirely the same. We just label our arousals according to the cognitions we have received. So as we receive the cognition, we label our arousal, and that's what has been explained under this Stasher-Signer theory. So this is again a very important component of the theory, a very basic, a very primitive question which was asked from this section. So highly important, and we need to understand how the participants actually who were brought into a room. They were sent into a private room where experimenter took the experiments on the effect of the various injections on the skills, and this was how the results were propagated. So there were various injections which were given, the vitamin injections or the placebo injections, and their effect on visual skills were introduced, and we saw whether it was related to euphoria, whether it was related to anger, and numerous students from Minnesota University participated with this experiment to test whether the two factor theory actually plays a significant role or not. So this was about one of the explanations for your this question. Now when you are writing your explanations for psychology specifically, I definitely recommend you go through the complete study material before you start writing. If you have watched our video course completely, I hope that is highly beneficial. But at the same time, do not miss to follow NCBI. So whenever you get time, just refer to the NCBI documentation, the various research studies which come up with NCBI. Now as you would see the research studies of NCBI, you can simply create a notebook where you mark down the various important research related to different aspects. So let's say there was a study that you read which was related to emotion. So in your diary, just separate out different topics, and in the topic of emotions, in summary, just put an abstract of it. Now this abstract would be helpful when you would be attempting questions related to emotions. You can supplement your answers with contemporary research, and that would help you gain better advantage in your answer writing. So one of the very important key things that you should not miss. We would be covering many more sets for your psychology, how to write your answers, what are the key points that should be incorporated, and how, if you are talking about any experimentation, as we did the experiment of Minnesota University here to test the two factor hypothesis, the impact of vitamin injection on visual skills, have been an important way of explaining this question. Similarly, you could put down or jot down other examples in the other questions as well. Wish you good luck, and if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to connect back to us. You would have the important concepts given in the description below. Wish you good luck.